What's up, guys, or whoever's watching? Sorry, it took me a second to get this live stream up. Some technical difficulties. I should probably clean my camera. I think I just made that way worse. Whatever, that works. How you doing? How you doing, Gianna and Rich? How's everybody feeling? What's up, Karen? Oh my. So what's up, guys? Did you guys get a chance to watch the 3 episodes that are currently streaming? Because I had a blast. Why am I so small? I'm just born that way, baby. Oh, I'm small because this is a if somebody wants to join, they can join, and I don't know. I don't know how to work this. Yeah, it's been good. Tilting your phone for a better viewing experience for all of us. Well, so if I tilt it landscape, then they wouldn't let me invite you guys on to come chat live with me. So I just had to do it this way, I guess. Couple of statues. Thanks, Anne. I know everybody wasn't a huge fan of those traditional roses, but I stand by them. So we go back into being vegan. Rock on. That's super red here. Hand tattoo look amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was the hand tattoo was crazy. Like uh I felt like I was playing it easy with the rose tattoos. I thought it was something that I could accomplish within those 5 hours. What is all over me? But then man, when you're put in the bottom, that's like a really terrible time down there. You know, it's like you're getting nervous. You might get sent home before you even get a shot. So I knew I had to come out swinging with that hand tattoo. And it was something that I tried really hard on. So I think it paid off. No call, no show. We're still working on that. It's just been a lot longer getting that together than what we initially wanted to. Seeing this, oh my god, talent's unreal. I know, like, so that was the other thing. I thought I could literally just skirt by with that first tattoo I did, but then after I realized that how good these tattooers are right from the get go, they're incredible. You know, the two text boys, obviously, they're absolute killers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the hand was a fun one. Like I said, that was it. I had a good opportunity in doing something that I wanted to do, and that's not something you that people get a chance to do very often. You know what I mean? You're usually thrown something that you're not comfortable with or something that's outside of your wheelhouse. So I had the opportunity, so I took it. You know, and I just did something that I thought I could pull off well. Is that text guy really a d bag, or is that just the show? I mean, there is a lot that's like, you know, it's TV. You know, there's going to be some call it unrealistic drama here and there, but no, James is really dope. Obviously, he's a terrific tattooer, and he's just very passionate about what he does. You know, he's been doing it for 26 years. So you know, he's just very passionate, and he was defending his friend. So I get it. I get where he's coming from. I want to know if the show is still more of a reality show than a tattoo show because I've been wanting to get back into it, but I don't like the drama. I love the tats. I mean, so it's you know to kind of defend Ink Master a little bit, I guess. You know, it's part of it. You know, it is reality television. No matter how we slice it, it's still reality television. So it's you know everybody there is strictly there for the tattooing. But a lot of what's said is you know it's how you really feel. You know, it's honesty and whatnot. We just have to be a little bit more direct in talking to people than what we're used to. Uh, Miss you borrowed time. I know I need to come back ASAP. I haven't been there in a while, and I need to make it back to the shop. To borrow time. Finally decided to join Ink Master, and so yeah, that was a thing I didn't want to do for a long time. And you know, even I had friends on there that I was like, you know, I don't know if it's just something for me because of the drama, the time tattoos. I always thought that you know you shouldn't be putting a time limit on tattooing, but then you also realize that the clients or canvases sign up to be a part of that. They want to be a part of the experience, so they're not really worried about the time aspect. You know, they just want to be part of everything together. Um, and like my buddy Gian said, it's not something that very many tattooers get to do. You know, it's very few of us. Um, so I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity, and I'm so glad I didn't because I had such a good time. Hey, thanks. That patch lettering tattoo was cool. I dug it, and it was nice that again I got to do something that I think I'm decent at. Mhm. Top 3 tips on being a successful tattooer. What a loaded question, John. I mean, just staying, I know it sounds so cheesy, but just staying true to yourself, like doing what you love to do is always going to get you farther than anything else, and just putting in the work. If there's something that you feel like you're lacking on, don't be afraid to tackle the things that you're not good at because it's only going to make you better, right? And just practice, practice, practice. Just doing it, every day for years on end is going to make you better. There's no weird like secrets to it or not. It's just you got to do it. Joel's lead singer of my favorite band. What's he like behind the camera? Joel was awesome. Joel was so cool the entire time. Like he was so funny, and it's a bummer that not a lot of people get to see that funny side of him because he was cracking us up the entire time. Everybody there was though. Ryan, DJ, and Nico. They were all. It was such a good time, and I'm so bummed that so many of those weird jokes that just got left out. But they got to trim it down for TV. Patchwork looked awesome. Thank you, NP. And acting out. Was I acting out? Maybe. Are you the new Ink Master? I don't know. Only time will tell. Ryan is my inspiration. Yeah, she was. I have a lot more respect for DJ and for Ryan for knowing what they went through because it was not easy. It's very little sleep. We have to design these tattoos on the fly and execute them well under all that pressure. So it's Ink Master is not easy by a long shot. It's tough. So more respect goes out to those guys for just going for knowing what they went through, and then both of them for doing it multiple times. It's nuts, but they're good at it. They're really good at it, obviously. Some behind the scenes deets, like what? I can only say so much, but yeah, I don't know. What style are you least most comfortable doing, Mr. J? Probably Japanese is what I'm. That's one that I don't know much about. I mean, similar to American traditional tattoos, there's rule sets that you have to abide by. Certain colors used for this, certain line weights used for this. So I don't really know much about Japanese. So that could always come back to bite me in the ass. I love the drama you brought. It's so fun. I hope. I don't know. I hope so. It was like one of my biggest fears was looking, not how I really am. I didn't want them to portray me as like some villain or maybe use the wrong clips and make me look like a butthole. But I think they did a stupendous job. I loved the trailer they put out. These 3 episodes were fantastic, and they're just showing you what really happened. So far anyway, they're just showing everything that really happened. I'd love to get tattooed in the future. Do you usually have a long waiting list? Not really. I can't tell what your name is, but not really. It's not that long. I am pretty selective in what I choose to tattoo, but it can't hurt to send an email over and just find out. But if it's something that's maybe outside of my wheelhouse, or maybe I'm not super comfortable with doing, or something I think somebody else might do better, I might send you that way. But if it's something that I enjoy doing, then yeah, we'll get it booked. Yeah, NP, I had the most fun filming Ink Master. It was such a good time. And I wish the people behind the scenes got more credit than they do, like all the cast care and the what we call the challenge team, that would help us out with our tattoos and help us out get materials and stuff like that. The guys that you don't see on TV, they were fantastic. Every one of them. When did you film the show? A while ago. Just assuming you're on the new season. Yes. Yep. On the new season. The first 3 episodes are now streaming on Paramount Plus. If you don't have a Paramount Plus, they've got a week free trial, so you can at least check out the first 3, maybe 4 episodes. I know the next episode, I'm pretty sure, is going to drop on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. How long is an Ink Master week? It's not 7 days, is it? I mean, kind of. It's long hours, long days, long hours. Like I said, not much sleep. And it's just rinse and repeat. You don't really get much time to like sit back and decompress and think about what just went down. You're right on to the next thing. So it's tough. It like I think Ryan said, it does take a lot of you've got to be mentally prepared for this stuff because it can get you. Is propylene glycol the secret sauce? I don't use any of that stuff. I just use water for my black and gray tattoos. There's no secret sauce. It's just H2O, baby. And make you look dramatic when you seem like the nicest chill guy ever. I don't know. Maybe I was. Again, it's weird reliving this all again, going back in time and watching it all happen again. And so much stuff does get left out, so maybe there was like more drama than what you actually see. And it's a few days worth of recording whittled down to 45 minutes, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that's left out. How did you prepare for the show? Well, and I tried to draw and draw and draw and draw. And even when I got out there, I just drew some more and I drew some more to try and prepare for everything they could throw at me. I was drawing Japanese finger waves, flowers, like Hanya masks, all this other stuff, especially working on my weaknesses. And then when I saw the text boys drawing on their iPads, back piece after back piece after back piece with no reference, I'm like, I'm going to set aside drawing for now and just work on the tattoos as they come. Whatever is asked of me, that's. I guess I wouldn't know the difference. I don't know. They're twins, right? I'm glad they haven't portrayed you as a villain. You seem very level-headed and soft-spoken. Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't. They can really do anything they want. And I don't remember if I was ever mad at anybody. I don't think I was. I mean, so that's the thing. Everybody got along super well, but it doesn't necessarily play well for TV, right? But again, we were honest in what we said. They like anything that's said on the show is generally our real feelings and what we had. We were just, we had to say what we thought. So if there's something that I said, it was probably genuine. What would you do if you walk in a studio? I wasn't. I already read that one. Where do you sleep, eat, and live while the show is filming? Um, yeah, I don't know what I can really say about that. Um, but yeah, I don't really know. I'll just leave that one alone because I don't really know what I'm allowed to say. What was your favorite tattoo that you did on the show? I mean, again, we're only 3 episodes deep, so my hand tattoo was something that I did that I really enjoyed. I loved. It was something that I do on a daily basis that I knew I could pull off decently well. Um, and I had a lot of fun with it. Ryan wasn't the biggest fan of my traditional roses, so that's kind of why I threw the gem on top. It was like it's what she does, so I kind of just threw that out there as a nod to her. Joseph, I didn't know the text boys. I knew you buds. Miss you, Ponail. Hey, nobody knows about the Ponail. It was so funny. Joseph, first of all, if you guys aren't following Joseph, click on his name, follow him. Joseph is phenomenal. Killed it on the show. And it was so funny. At one point, one of the story producers was so flustered talking about her ponytail, and out came Ponail, and everybody heard it, and such Ponail was born. I know I didn't know the text boys either, though, Joseph. So I just found out about them when I got there, which everybody's like, you didn't know who Anthony and James were? Had no idea. But man, they were the two that made me most nervous for sure, hands down. Much desire to get tattooed. Watching videos are very enjoyable. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I haven't able to watch any of this yet, but thank you for always giving suggestions for other artists. If there isn't an object you feel comfortable with, catches your interest. Yeah, well, hey, W, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Like I said, you can get a free week get a free week trial of Paramount Plus, so you can watch the first 3, if not 4 episodes. The 4th one coming out Wednesday. Karen, the Ink Master experience overall was fantastic, and I would highly recommend it to any tattooer that is thinking about it. I was so reserved about it when I was first asked. They've asked me a couple different times, and I always kind of came back at them with like, let me be a judge. I want to be a judge, even a guest judge for a day. I think that would be fantastic. I mean, that's what I've been doing for the past 4 years. And I think I'm pretty knowledgeable about tattoos for the most part. I'm not great at everything by any means, by a long shot. But I thought that would be really fun. So I thought maybe that was my opportunity to at least get my foot in the door. I could tell that the jewel was an ode to Ryan. Absolutely was, Robin. It was just, like I said, I was trying to, I guess, make her happy, or however you want to look at that. Does being on the show like Ink Master change your approach on tattoos in general, or even certain styles of tattoos? Kind of, to an extent. I mean, I learned a lot. You know what I mean? So, like everything that I learned filming, I can take back into all the tattoos that I do at home. Um, and if anybody wants to join, Joseph, if you're still here, if you want to join, I think I have an option that you can come on live with me, and we can talk about these first 3 episodes if you want. Um, Not sure if this has been asked yet, but what was your favorite tattoo of your series and what favorite tattoo from any series? I mean, again, can only talk about the first 3 episodes, so the hand tattoo is definitely my favorite. I think I did uh, uh, pretty decent job with the patch tattoo. Something I do at home, so it just felt natural, But any regrets in putting Jade in the bottom three? Absolutely not. She belonged there. No, I'm kidding. It was more of a just a. I knew she was going to come out of it alive. So I just wanted to leave it up to the judges, more or less. And we were trying to save our teammate Jarrell. So we didn't want him to end up at the bottom three. Were you able to showcase your minimalist talents? Like what kind of minimalist talents? Did you finish filming for the whole season in one go, or are you going to go do chunks on a weekly basis? Can't say much about that because it's happening right now. Did you get along with the other contestants, or the drama true? Everybody got along, for sure. Were some things uncomfortable and real? Absolutely. Like in the second episode, James was defending his friend Manny. Fair enough. But it did make it really awkward, when we got to a certain point, and it was me and James sitting next to each other. So, like, all that was real. If you could collab with any other Ink Master, who would you choose and why? Good question. I like collaborating with people who bring something to the table, even if it's not your style, even if it's another style. So, like, Jarrell is coming to the shop soon. He'll be here at the end of November. If I had an opportunity to collab with him, I think it would be great because his work is bright, colorful, vivid, watercolor style tattoo, and I think that would work really well with something that's black and gray realistic. I think that would be really fun. Um, Make a brand of ink as a show, have a brand they use, love your content. So, I mean, I just brought a bunch of my own ink. I brought a bunch of my own supplies because, if I'm not used to whatever they supply, then I know, like I brought a bunch of world famous ink. Because I know how those colors heal and I know how they go into skin. So I just wanted to go with what I know. I wasn't trying to do a bunch of new stuff on, yeah, on a competition for $250,000. I wanted to make sure that it was something that I was used to. I wish the show showed more of the specs on how the tats are made, voltage used, different needles, known tricks, and all the artists, but no, not giving away individual tricks, of course. Yeah, Mark. So that's the problem. Because most people like the non-tattooers won't know about what a needle size is and stuff like that. So we were encouraged to not talk about like needle size and voltage and stuff like that because it would really just go over a lot of people's heads. What's it like doing the carton box flash challenge? The cardboard box flash challenge and working with a team like that. So that was super fun. Me and the other OGs got along swimmingly. We all assumed our roles and just did what we had to do to finish the challenge. I think there was not one weird spiff or argument on our team. And it was funny looking over at the young guns and everybody there, like they were having such a hard time getting along or trying to, be on the same page. So I think we worked fantastic as a team on that challenge in specific. Um, and you don't have much time when you're doing those challenges. So it's like you come up with that idea and you just go for it. You don't have time to mull over. Maybe this will be better. Maybe this will be better. It's just think of something and attack it. Assume your roles. What can you do to help and just get it done. Right on. Thank you, Trammy. I appreciate that. Do you tattoo owls? My dad passed away in April and I would like tattoo of an owl to represent him. Not really. Not really, Robin. I know a buddy at my shop. Well, I guess everybody else at my shop would tattoo owls. They like tattooing owls. Myself in specific, I'm not that biggest fan of tattooing birds or anything along those lines. But if you checked out Tom Osvath, it's TOZ.tattoo, or Raf, which is REC.tattoo, or Gary Parisi or Garrett Harper, maybe check out one of their styles and have them do it because they would kill it. And I would rather send you to somebody who's going to do a killer job rather than me try to tackle something that I'm not great with, if that makes sense. I'll still be there. We can still hang out and have lunch. Going to Amazon Prime now to watch Sweet You Should. Do you think you were judged correctly on the neo-traditional tattoo? I didn't do a neo-traditional tattoo. I did a traditional tattoo, if that's what you're talking about. As far as that, if you're talking about the traditional tattoo, um, I think they were honest in their critiques. Some things they were said were absolutely genuine. But when it comes to traditional tattooing, I know there are rules that go along with it. It's something I was raised on over 20 years ago. So I'm aware of what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. Was it a better looking tattoo than Jade's? I don't think so. Did I follow the rules better? I think so. But it's just my opinion. So on that tattoo in particular, it's stuff that you didn't see. I did defend my tattoo and my reasons why. But I also get why they did what they did, and I also thought my tattoo might not have been as good as Andy's either. So I was surprised that his was lower ranked than mine, you know. Um, Seven Cities Tattoo Expo. Yeah, that was fun. The Seven Cities was a great convention, right? That was so cool. Are the time restraints reasonable? They're not bad. I mean, 6 hours. So going into it, usually most of my tattoos take about 6 hours or so. So I was like, I got this. I can handle anything that's thrown at me. I can knock it out in 6 hours. But once you're there, time flies by so fast in that room. Um, I couldn't see the clock from my station, so I had to set up a little timer on my iPad so I can, keep track of time. And that was probably my one of my bigger struggles was just time management. Doing everything that I needed to do and then moving on, not getting stuck up on one spot. So the time was absolutely real and it was tough. That was, like I said, probably the toughest part about it, in my opinion. Uh, so sorry, I'm falling behind here. I just, check them out. Definitely have lunch. Yeah, please check them out honestly because they're going to give you a better tattoo than I would. I'm just if my heart's not in it like that, then it's. I wish it was. I struggle when it comes to like bird texture and stuff like that. I'm not great with you killed loading tattoo, but I was wondering if there was a canvas that you would have wanted, like the cross stitch tattoo or the butt tattoo. Um, not no, not the butt tattoo because butt tattoos are difficult, and I think Alina find that out the hard way. They're not easy. They're stretchy. It takes a lot to get good line work on a butt, and you really got to slow down to do a good job. And in that competition, time is everything. So it's definitely wouldn't want that one. The cross stitch tattoo would have been fun. Probably not my top choice, but to be honest, like the entire thing threw everybody off because they said lettering, and we were all like, lettering, what the fuck? We're all looking around, like checking out everybody's work on the wall to see if anybody does lettering, and not really. I mean, Joseph did like graffiti letters and stuff like that. He's dabbled in graffiti. I think Manny's dabbled in graffiti, but he wasn't there anymore. Oopsie. Sorry, Manny. So no, not not many people did lettering. So that was a tough one. There's probably not one that I would have picked over another. Happy to get Master and give us some spoilers. I can't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. I've only seen 3 episodes. I'm here with you guys. How were the confessional sessions and talking, interviewing with the producers? It was good. I mean, again, I had a great time all the way around. The interviews were just tough sometimes because they were long. They were long, long hours, long days. Sitting on a wooden chair. So I mean, they were tough in that respect. But I mean, I'm used to talking on camera every Monday, so I just that part wasn't bad. Getting to share my experience and whatnot. It was all fun. Yeah, Left Red, thank you. Who has surprised you most? Ooh, I mean, probably James and Anthony, just because I didn't know who they were, and then, like I said, seeing their work, they're mind blowing. They're such good tattooers. Kat, I knew of Kat before going onto the show, so I knew she was capable of solid work. Um, Stephanie, I didn't know of Stephanie before going on the competition. Um, and her work is so buttery smooth that Kitsune mask was money. That thing was so good. I love doing Old English and script lettering. Yeah, I do too. They're fun, and I still do some lettering tattoos today just to keep myself in check. I think it's always good to do things that don't make you comfortable, except all tattoos. Just kidding. Um, woo! Thanks, Ink Master. Or thanks, Mayday. Did you see No More Ink After Show where they gushed about your stitch lettering tattoo? Yeah, that was cool. That was very nice of them to do that. Um, Super nice, and it's good to see that Ryan's doing these after inked, tattoo critiques. I think that's a really cool addition to the competition. What's the difference in change of media from YouTube to television? How did you adjust if you had to? Uh, I mean, not much. Like I said, they're just really long days. So it's just doing things over and over and over again to make sure the shots are got shots. You know what I mean. like I said, they're just long days where it's very different than what I do when I'm recording my critiques because it's usually just one and done for the most part. I might have to say the same thing 2 or 3 times if I flub up a sentence, but uh, yeah, for the most part, I mean, I don't know. It sounds weird, but I wasn't really like nervous at all. I think like a lot of other people were. I was just enjoying my experience there. I think it was a really good time. Are you enjoying it? Yeah, absolutely, David. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm enjoying it now. You know, finally getting to share what we made with everybody else is super cool. I sent 112 tattoo requests. Oh no. um, favorite former ink master. That's another good one. Um, hmm. I'm a fan of Angel Rose's work. I think she is pretty fantastic. I was really bummed out about how fast Aaron went home on the last season because I think he's an amazing tattooer and he's got a really unique style. The Afro American traditional tattoos, I don't think I've ever seen that before. So I wanted to see more of that. And I was hoping that they would showcase more of that. But unfortunately, he went out the first round. And same thing with Joel. You know, Joel is, again, a phenomenal tattooer. His black and gray is so smooth. I think maybe the design just killed him on that one. But it's such a bummer seeing these good tattooers go home, you know, the first and second round because they don't get to showcase what they really do. You know, you and James have beef. I don't know. We'll have to stick around and find out. No, we don't have beef. I'm vegan. From the 3 episodes I watched, you definitely look more comfortable on camera. Yeah, I was the cameras never bothered me one bit. I think that stuff. I think that was some of the easier parts. Sorry, I'm tangled around here. How scripted is the drama on the show and on the producers inside it? Nothing is scripted. Um, are some things pushed a certain way or another? Maybe, you know, but they want to push honesty out of us. They want us to be honest and direct, you know. So anything that's said comes from a real place. I'll say that. Um, how it's perceived, you know, it could be perceived a little more aggressive than it really is, but it's all coming from a real place. Being that you do critiques, how do you feel about the critiques on Ink Master? I think they were pretty honest and genuine for the most part, and that's something that I wish people got to see more of were the actual critiques. But obviously, we can only show so much. But the critiques were long. You know, the critiques were very long. I mean, I think some of the longest ones were like 45 minutes or so. So it's like you're standing there getting berated, you know, good and bad about all the things that you could have changed in your tattoo for a long period of time. So they zoom in, they talk about every little square inch of the tattoo that you made, you know. So most of the times they would bring up things that we already knew going into it, you know, like if something I fucked up, I knew I fucked up, they're gonna point it out, you know. So you have tofu. Yeah, we got tofu. Me and James have tofu. uh, uh, uh. I tagged you in the post. I hope you get to see it sometime. What post are we talking about? How is it working with the canvases? The canvases are super cool, man. There was a, you know, they are there for the experience as well as you are. So it's just it's you know, and I love talking to people. I can't shut up. So you know, me and the canvases or clients would get along really well. And sometimes when I start talking too much, I might like lean back and hold my machine in my hand and be like, "Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy." And then I'm like, "I gotta focus. I gotta get my work done." So sometimes the talking kind of got to me, but I handled it well, I think. What's your biggest takeaway from doing the show? Oh, I don't know. I think that I just learned a lot by being around a bunch of diverse artists. You know, just picking up something from everybody is probably what I value the most. Um, Still waiting for you to critique my tattoo that I sent in last year. Yeah, I know, Robin. I wish I could say I would get to it, but I'm not really too sure because I think we've got like 5,000 emails in there, so it's just hard to get through everybody. So that's why we've also been trying to do like lightning rounds and other stuff. That way we can just get through more tattoos because I usually critique 5 an episode. But if I can do 10 every other episode or whatever, I'd like to get through more, but they might be a bit quicker because they do take a while to film. I made a community post on my attempt of an American traditional tattoo design I did yesterday. Oh, cool! I'll check it out. I'll make sure to check it out later. Can you expand a bit on being forced out of your element and into styles you don't otherwise tattoo a bit? Um, well, traditional, I still do every now and again, so that wasn't too bad. And then my second tattoo, I got to do something that I do on the daily, and then my third tattoo, I got to do something that I do fairly regularly. So far, hasn't been too bad. What do you think the most important thing is you're able to learn and take away from other artists from the show? Just, I think the illustration was a big one, because I still do draw to this day, but seeing the people that draw really well, I tried to pick up things here and there and just find out how they do things. And, uh, we all have a different approach to it. But again, it's all practice. It's all putting in the time, because there's no secret. So you just have to literally put in the time if you want to get something good out of it. Uh, any Ted artist you recently discovered being on the show? Yeah, I mean, a handful of them. James and Anthony Tex, Jarrell. Um, I mean, the rest of them. I knew Alina, Jade, and Kat going into the show, and I think that was it. Oh, and I knew of Love. Love and I have met a time or two at a convention. She came by to say hi. And Love is the biggest sweetheart in the world. I've read online that they give you a wardrobe, but I've seen you in some of your classic sweaters. What's the fact and fiction here? I mean, so as far as that goes, I mean, it's clothing that you would normally wear, right? Like I wear sweaters. But if it's maybe a certain material, it might not be good for their cameras, or if a certain color, it might not be good for their cameras. Obviously, they don't want to show logos or pictures or anything like that. So it's pretty standard to what I actually wear. It's just flat colors. Any point where the competition go to and you lost your feels yourself in the competition. Again, I don't know because I can only speak on these three uh, episodes. And I don't think I lost myself at all. I think maybe I was taking it a bit too easy with the traditional tattoos. I just thought there were going to be some bad tattooers on the show, but there really wasn't. So playing it safe on the very first round kind of bit me in the ass, because it wasn't good enough, clearly. Out of all the past Ink Master Elimination tattoos, which one would you want to get? Oh boy. Uh, what a question. Um, I don't know. I've always liked John Mesa's work, and Freddie. I didn't know about Freddie Albrighton until that season came out, and I absolutely love Freddie's work. I would love to get something from Freddie if he ever comes this way. Maybe I'll book with him. I don't know, but I would love to get something from him for sure. If I couldn't win this season, who would I root for? Hmm. I don't know. It's a tough question. Um, I don't really know because what the people are good at, they're really good at, but the things that they're not good at, they really fall behind. So it's a tough question. I would like to root for a lot of people. Obviously, like I ended up becoming really good friends with Jarrell, so I think I would root for him just because of the kind of person he is. We had a lot of good conversations, even outside the competition at conventions, and he's just a very genuine person. He's probably the most genuine person on the competition, in my opinion. Freddie should have won. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one because it does the way they're judged. Every tattoo is judged from that time. They don't use report cards, as they say. They don't look at your past tattoos. So although, I mean, obviously, I love Bobby Johnson. I think he's again a fantastic tour. All three of those guys up there in the final three were fantastic tattooers. I just think it was a bit risky that Freddie did that black and gray tattoo. And I can see why it wasn't appealing to a lot of people. I enjoyed it. I love all three of his tattoos. I loved all three of everybody's tattoos. But it just comes down to each tattoo, and that's all it is. He is very unique. Yeah, he absolutely is unique. And I like seeing that in tattooing. I like seeing people who think outside the box, and he's definitely one of those people. I mean, until I see all the episodes are out, can you just reassure you're safe for a while? So far, Peter, I'm safe for 3 episodes. Did they pay you to be on the show since you're not able to take appointments of filming? Can't say much about that. I'm sorry. So to watch seeing what you break out, show them what Chicago's about. Yeah, John. Yeah, it was good to represent Chicago because I know Kelly Sievertson was on a few seasons ago, but other than that, I don't know if there was really anybody else from Chicago aside from Kelly Sievertson. Which I'm actually recording with him soon. He's going to be helping me with a interview style video that we're making, so it'll be nice to sit down with him and chat for a bit and you know get to know him a little bit better. Hey Clemens, how you doing? How did you get your tattoo apprenticeship? So I never really had a proper apprenticeship, which is funny because anybody who's never went through a real apprenticeship always says that you should definitely go through a proper apprenticeship, even though we didn't. Um, Gary, Carolyn. Oh yeah, I guess Gary and Carolyn were on there, but they don't count. Carolyn went home so fast. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Gary from my shop was on season 10. If you guys haven't seen season 10, go check that out. Sorry, excuse me. Um, where was I? Oh, the apprenticeship. Um, Making if you want a good apprenticeship, you should make a good drawing portfolio. Get together a bunch of drawings that are like tattoo style esque. And I always suggest going with traditional because I think those build good foundations. Traditional roses, traditional daggers, traditional skulls. Work on what we call flash pages. They don't have to be necessarily 11 by 14 inches, but just something that shows that you're knowledgeable about the craft and shows your skill. And just put a bunch of those together, go into shops in person to ask, if they're taking apprenticeships, because asking on Instagram is never great. Calling is never great. Go in person, show them your personality, show them what you've got, show them you're willing to learn, show them you're willing to help out with shop duties and all this other stuff. It's only going to help you out. And if they say no, maybe you go back and work on some more drawings and then build up an entire portfolio and then go back 2 months later and show them, look, this is what I've worked on. I'm a workaholic. I can work my ass off. I can help out. I can be an asset to the shop is probably the best thing that you can say at any tattoo shop. And of course, some shops still aren't going to take you on because, like myself and the guys at the shop, we don't really have time to take on apprentices. They're just very time consuming. But if you find the right place that is willing to take an apprenticeship, they definitely will if you show that you're willing to work for it. Like my guys at Lucky Cat, Caesar over there in Chicago, loves having apprentices, and he teaches a few of them at once. He's really good at it. He's probably one of the best people I know at working with apprentices. So it's just finding the right person for you, the right mentor, the right teacher. Um, would you do Ink Master again? Yeah, it absolutely would. It was, like I said, it was super fun. Not what I expected. Very hard, but nothing that you can't handle. Do you find shows like this sometimes dilute the creativity of some tattoo artists, making them do styles or follow rules and not allowing them their own style, even just hinted at? Not necessarily. So I probably would have a different outlook on that, a couple years ago, maybe even a year ago. But that's not the point of Ink Master, right? The point of Ink Master is to see if you're capable of doing a multiple different styles. To me, that's the idea of Ink Master is see how versatile you are. Um, Being able to work within certain parameters, work with tough clients or canvases, um, and putting you in an uncomfortable position. That, yeah, I guess it's never been the point of the show to showcase how good you are at your one specialty. They want to see how good you are at things that make you uncomfortable. And I think that's really cool. I think that's again, not many people get to do that shit. So it's fun and that's what makes it challenging. If it's something that we were really good at, it might not be as challenging or fun. Excited for portrait day. And we'll see if they've got one. Did you train or have overall strategy for the show going on? It seems like since competition has grown on the show, preparing has become super important. Yeah, I mean, I think preparing is excellent. I just I mean, I don't know how much I prepared for personally. It was just doing a bunch of different tattoos, but I've been doing that forever, right? I know a lot of people only know me for my micro portraits or realism, but I mean, if you travel back in time on my Instagram, you'll see full size colored portraits, full size color realism, traditional tattoos, neo traditional tattoos. I've done a lot. Um, so preparing for it, I've been preparing for it for 24 years, as far as like the drawing and whatnot, I tried to draw my ass off leading up to it. When I landed, I was drawing my ass off. But like I said earlier, if you weren't around, once I saw what the other guys were drawing out of their heads with no reference, I kind of just put that to the side. And maybe that was a bad move. I don't know. But I just didn't want to waste energy on something that may never come up in the competition, if that makes sense. Thanks for doing the Q&A. How much time do you have to prepare the design before tattooing? We've got a little bit of time. I don't want to say to be exact because I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but it's a little bit of time. It's not much, it's really not much time at all. So I think the toughest part about that is if you come up with a design and you change your mind halfway through designing the tattoo, there's not really enough time to pivot. And if you do, you better work quickly. You got to think of something, design it, execute it, all within this, time window. And but that's what makes the challenge challenging. That's what makes the whole thing tough. If you had overnight, then you could call your friends or do whatever to help you out with shit. But they put you on the spot. You find out what the tattoo is going to be. You go design it and you tattoo it. It's pretty quick. Uh, you're back on the show. Back on the show. It's my first time. Love your work and thanks for doing the Q&A. Oh, I said that one. Thanks for answering questions. Love your work. Thank you so much. Have you ever refused to do a tattoo? Yeah, for sure, Rin. There's lots of tattoos that maybe I don't refuse, but I just don't do. I was talking to Robin earlier. If it's something that my heart's not into, I'd rather that person go to somebody else who would have a better time with it. The outcome would probably be better. Um, Generally, I just stick to things that I can put my heart into. Pop culture stuff, portraits. If somebody comes to me with a fun traditional tattoo, I'm gonna do it. Any fun idea, um, you know, I'll always tackle. But if it's something that's like obviously like hate tattoos, they get ignored. Um, if it's an owl tattoo, probably gonna say no, just because I know I'm not gonna be great at it. Is doing ink master only good publicity for an artist, or can you also be bad for your career if you get eliminated early, for example? I don't necessarily think so, because I think if there's eyes on you in any sort of way, even if you do a bad tattoo on the show, there's still eyes on you, so they will check out the rest of the work you do. So I can't really see it being bad for you, unless you say something really stupid, in which don't do that. What are you sorry for, Craig? I'm back piece. What would be your strategy? I'm gonna leave that up in the air. Uh, can't really say much about that. Mine was a fun idea. 112 requests. I know, Robin. I'm sorry. Thanks. In the last season, you have seen that some artists copy designs or used AI reference. Are the producers looking that you draw it all itself or using only references? I mean, it's both. Um, so we have to, we can't just Google certain images and use those. We have a limited references that we can go through, and then of course we can draw whatever we want. So it's drawing your tattoos is always going to be um, something that's more special than using reference, but it depends on what you're doing. I always think that using references is great, especially if it comes to realistic tattoos. So it really just depends, but we were fairly limited on the references we had. I know some sub-art tattoos get a pass clearly because the artist is good TV. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, and I could be wrong. I don't really know because I'm not the judge. I'm not the producer. But when it came down to the critiques, like I said, all the judges were very brutally, harshly honest. So it had to not only meet the challenge, but it had to be a good tattoo. Um, so I don't know if I necessarily agree with subpar tattooers getting the pass, because so far I haven't seen that, at least in this season. I guess I've been watching you for a while. Thought you were on the show. Oh, no, no, yeah, Craig. I know a lot of people do. My friend Pony Wave was on the show in like season 9, maybe, but no, first time I've ever done it. Do you draw and paint, Pony? Yeah, I used to paint a lot. I not so much anymore. And drawing, I need to get back into, but I haven't stopped drawing ever. I've been working on these like movie scenes. They're like rectangle movie scenes, and they've got like a colored, realistic element to it. I could show you if I was at the shop, but I'm not there. And that have been licensed to show on TV. Yeah, you're exactly right, Ren. Can you tell us more about what the judges said about your tattoos? Because they don't really show a whole lot. No, they really don't. They come down to like 2 lines. Um, I mean, like I said, they went hard on my traditional roses. Uh, I know Ryan said something along the lines of it reminds her of something that you'd see inside of every tattoo shop across America, which to me was the point. To me, that's American traditional tattooing. It's something you see on the wall at every shop in America. Nico, could understand where I was coming from with it. And the idea for me putting name in the banner was that's what was on the flash when you'd walk into a shop, because that's just the way it was drawn. It's kind of an ode to like Burt Grimm's and the other, old school traditional artists. They would just put name on the banner and then you could fill it in with whatever name you wanted. Also, not getting to meet the client prior to it, I couldn't really ask him what he wanted in the banner, so I just went with name. So many ponies. I know. Too many, in my opinion. Being bad at Ink Master is like being weakest grandmaster of chess. Even if you're weakest, you're still grandmaster. Right. Now you said it best. I mean, And again, especially this season. Previous seasons, absolutely, but especially this season, it was insane with how many good tattooers were there. It was absolutely bonkers. Getting back to my room and just like looking up everybody on Instagram, being like, holy shit, what am I getting myself into? They're absolutely killers, but done better than every shop in America. I appreciate that, Robin. I know a lot of people don't think so. Again, I mean, I stand by it. I get why it was ranked where it was because everybody else had killer tattoos. They deserved the spot they got. This is that is what a traditional rose looks like, in my opinion. I think in most they might have been just nitpicking because it was a close call. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's absolutely quite possible. Um, I did notice that the client was like bending his knee when the picture was taken, so the roses do look a little bit like smushed. But it is what it is. I'm still happy with the tattoo. I wouldn't change anything going back on it. I love the old judges more. Do you wish you would have had them instead? Not necessarily. I mean, I appreciate their opinions just the same. And if it was those judges, that's what it would be. But I know Oliver doesn't agree with a lot of the things that I believe with tattooing. Like if there's any white used in tattoos, he probably would have shit his pants. So, hey, thank you, Dancing Lobster. I really appreciate that. What's your tattooing hot take? P.S. I admire your skills. Thank you. Tattooing hot take. Um, I don't know. Weren't we filming some hot take stuff recently? Yeah, we were actually filming some like hot takes that are coming out soon. I don't necessarily talk about mine, but the only thing that really bugs me in the tattoo world is when people heavily manipulate their photos. Like I don't really care about what people do as far as their styles go. I mean, whatever makes them happy, everything's a learning experience. So if something doesn't age well, they're only going to learn from that. So, and I think experimentation is great, even if something's not going to heal well or the trend might go away. It all uh, it all helps in the evolution of tattooing. But the thing that bugs me the most is when people, those who shall not be named, draw on their tattoos with Procreate and fix lines and add lines that aren't there, and just they're really putting out an expectation to clients that they can tattoo that way, and they really can't. So lying to clients is probably my most biggest, if only pet peeve when it comes to tattooing. I just don't like when people cheat clients, lie to clients, uh, you know, like I said, kind of put things out there that aren't real. And I appreciate that. Again, Dancing Lobster. I just want to say hi. Hi, RK Kozu. Do you think your character got represented fairly in TV shows? Biggest fear of going on a show like this? I mean, I think so far. I mean, I haven't said much, so I don't know. But yeah, I think everything was represented fairly. I don't. There wasn't a moment watching these 3 episodes where I saw that and I was like, oh, that didn't happen like that. So far they've been pretty honest about the edits, and it's been a great time watching and seeing how they put it together. What's the latest number season of Ink Master? Is it 14 or 15? Right now we are on season 16. Well, now that you're famous, I'll stop sending tattoo requests. No, you don't have to. But like I said, if it's something that I'm not the biggest fan of, yeah, it just won't make it. Um, it is not a hot take. Everybody hates those people that add photos. Yeah, I know. I mean, you're right. I don't know what my hot take would be. Is Pony a nickname? No, Pony's not a nickname. It is my real name. It was my great grandfather's name that was passed on to me. Um, and so it's just borrowed. I'm technically the second Pony in my family. How long did you realize you are really gifted and good at what you do? I don't think I've quite realized that yet. It's been 24 years where I've been working at this, trying to get better and better, seeing the other people around me that I'm surrounded by, and seeing all the tattooers online that do fucking crazy good work. Um, so it's a weird feeling, right? Like I think I do decent tattoos. I think I get luckier sometimes than others. But you're always going to think that you're less than somebody else. So that's a hard one to say. Do they feed you well? My mother wants to know. Yeah, they took care of us for sure. I mean, it might have been like a handful of hours before we could eat sometimes, but yeah, they definitely made sure we got fed. You got to represent the art as is from the womb to the tomb. Most artists I know do it for the love of the art. Set out if you ruin it for all of us. Yeah, I know. They're giant turds. With the old judges, people miss that this tattoo's jacked since it's pretty funny. No, you're right. I think they were a little more aggressive, maybe. I mean, Ryan was also pretty aggressive in what she said, but again, she was really honest. Um, Did you get paid for maybe flight, meals, etc.? Yeah, I mean, again, they took care of us, Clemens. So we didn't have to worry about that aspect of things. They definitely took very good care of us. Who's the other person in the room? Am I going crazy to hear a different voice a few minutes ago? Yeah, no, that's Ryan. He's here with me. He's we just got done filming a couple episodes for the channel. We are, since you guys are here joining me, we are filming we're critiquing a couple Ink Master tattoos. So you got to keep on the lookout for that. No, they said they heard another voice in the room a minute ago. But yeah, no, he's here with me now. I think he's probably just finishing up. We'll probably both head out soon. Are you really vegan? Yep. Been for several years now. Do you still appreciate simple tattoos that are well executed? No. Yeah, I mean it's absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I love small tattoos. I mean, if you look at my saved folder on Instagram, it's small tattoos, it's big tattoos. A lot of times, the small tattoos I'm more impressed with because there's nowhere to hide, So a well executed small tattoo to me is harder than to do a big, elaborate, crazy, complex tattoo because there are more places to hide. It's easier to fix errors when you do bigger tattoos. So it's no, it's not complexity that impresses by any means. It's just good execution, good saturation, good lines. Um, Sup, Ryan? Oh, Kale said hello. Okay, it wasn't crazy. No, you're not. You might be crazy. I don't know. Are you done with the season? I don't know. We're on episode 3, so we're not done yet. Do contestants get an appearance fee? Yeah, I can't say that. No, I'll stop asking questions now. No, it's all good. The questions are fine. I just don't know, what I can and can't elaborate on. Is there beef with Tex? James, is that you? No, I mean, I love James. Especially after so one of the cool things about this experience was getting to interact with all these people without our cell phones, every single day, super long hours. Nobody had our phones on us, so we were just forced to be people, we were forced to be genuine. So I think that was one of the biggest things I took away from this. Just, it, it's like a family, just working with this people for so long. And like I said, it's just being cooped up together. We learn to love each other. Can you share your opinion on the host, Joel? It seems unnecessary to have a judge who isn't a tattooer is the fourth vote. So the fourth vote thing is a little weird, but as far as a non-tattooer being a judge, I think it's fantastic. And this is something I didn't used to understand until recently. Same thing with what was his name, Dave Navarro. I think it's important to have a client's perspective when it comes to judging. So you do have 3 judges that are tattooers that can break things down to Joel, but having that client perspective also means a lot, so because as tattooers we're looking beyond surface level, we're looking at application and technical ability and all this other stuff, where client is seeing it at surface level. So I think it's important that he is on there. um, Thanks for the live stream interacting. Of course, there was a huge scandal in drumming scene lately. Expire held an open contest for a new drummer, and a bunch of dudes edited their submissions. Crazy thing is, a lot of them are good but still cheat. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. When anybody cheats at anything, it's just, again, like you said, it ruins it for everybody. It's silly. Wouldn't say what's up. Been following for the longest time. Still going through treatment, and your videos help get through my chemo days and a recovery from surgery like today. That is super sweet, Jay. I appreciate that so much. I'm happy I can help in even a small way. Do they put all the contestants in a hotel together? So do you have drinks, breakfast together too? We drank a lot of White Claws, a whole lot of White Claws, whole lot of tequila. It was fun though. I mean, again, because we opened up, after our long recording days are over, we got to, for the little time that we had after recording, we had some drinks together, and it was a good time. James and Anthony from my city. I'll ask him if he has any tofu with you. I won't. Don't worry. No, you can. I mean, you ask away. Like I said, I think both those guys are really rad people. Amazing tattoo artist in your own right. I'm a jewelry designer, and I used to compare myself to other designers until I realized I'm worthy in my own right. Right, exactly. Like it's the toughest thing is comparing yourself to others. It's very hard not to. I used to wake up every morning and look at my Instagram and be like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do it this way? And it doesn't help anything. People love you for your work. People love that other person for their work, and it's okay to be different in some sort of way. Sorry, excuse me. Would you have tattooed a design which would look like shit is a bad idea if you don't have time to make a good design? Thanks for would you have tattooed a design which you know would look like shit is a bad idea? Hopefully not. Um, yeah, I mean, hopefully not. I probably would have just taken the extra time to draw. Any more drawing time would eat into your tattoo time. So if it's going to eat into your tattoo time, maybe I would make the tattoo smaller or something like that. But I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to do something that looked like shit. That's for sure. Um, because the client still has to live with it at the end of the day. The TV only lasts so long, but like the client still has to live with that forever. So I wouldn't want to do that to them. If you didn't tattoo, what would you want to do? Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe have like a food truck, or I mean, that sounds like a lot of work too. I don't know. I would love to teach art. I think in like a middle school or high school grade, I think would be really fun. Something involving art for sure. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love, and I think I can help a lot of people with that. So probably something in that realm. Can't wait to see your future tattoos on the show. Always wanted to say you're one of the top artists who inspired me in tattooing. Rock on, Doreen. I appreciate that. Will you tattoo someone if they let you choose the tat? Will you tattoo someone if they let you choose the tat? What do you mean? Will I let someone? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to like say whatever you want to do, sure. I mean, that's the problem though. Usually people are like, you can tattoo whatever you want on me. And I'll say, sick, let's do a RoboCop tattoo. And they're like, I don't really like RoboCop. I'm like, all right, then let me know what you want. So it always comes back to that. Did you win Ink Master? I'm not sure. We're only 3 episodes in, so I don't know. Thoughts on what the canvases want being up there? Did you all think some of them were just ridiculous? So there were, I don't say this. I mean, sometimes it sucks that when people say they want a tattoo on their ribs or stomach, because usually those are the killers on previous seasons. It's like if you get stuck tattooing a rib cage, that can be tough because the tattoo, instead of being this big, now it's going to be this big. The client or canvas is going to be moving all over the place. So it's not that they're ridiculous. It's just they know what they want, and a lot of times they're willing to work with you. So it's just you just got to take it on. It's like I said earlier, I wasn't going to waste any energy like trying to fight anything. It's like I'll give the canvas or client as close to what they want as possible, with exceptions. In the movie Crossroads, do you identify with Ralph Macchio's character or Steve Vai's? I've never seen Crossroads. I thought that was like a Britney Spears movie. Do they have books that they lend you for references? Um, I don't think there was books there. Alina brought a ton of books though. She brought a lot of reference books, so she was well prepared. I love that like ephemeral Emery. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Remy's wild. What are your thoughts on blackout tattoos? I mean, I think they're cool. I like when they're done well, like where they add something else to it. So it's not just a blackout sleeve, but it's like a blackout sleeve that turns into something else or something. Just a little bit more creative edge to it. How long did a critique of the judges last for a tattoo? And are the photos taken with a polarized filter? Are you standing by when they make photos of the tattoo? No, so we are not there when the photos are taken, but the photos are taken immediately after we finish. So as soon as we finish the tattoo, they walk out and they get their photos taken, but we're not there for that. Um, I'm not sure what they used to take the photos with again because I'm not there. Um, but I think they do a pretty good representation of what they actually were. Uh, Hilarious if you fit in a RoboCop quote in every Talking Head interview. That would be sick. Because I mean, I know the whole movie. I probably should have. Have you seen this tattooing over blackout style? Do you tattooing over blackout style? Um, okay, this one says, "Have you seen this tattooing over blackout style? Do you have an opinion on it?" Not necessarily. Again, I just want to see these things healed. And if if they heal well, then I'm all about it. And if it doesn't seem to work, then maybe we shift and pivot and do something else. Uh, Thoughts on UV tattoos? So I don't know much about UV tattoos. I've done them in the past, 15 plus years ago. Um, as far as my knowledge goes, back then anyway, they were the only like FDA approved ink. So I'm not sure. I don't know what is in them to make them glow. Um, but I love the way they look. I would like to do more of them. I think I just have to do some more research on it. Thanks, thanks, Dabby. Some owner of the what do you got? What tattoos do you have of mine? What is the filming schedule like? Is it one episode a day, or do they split up between Flash and Elimination, etc.? Again, I don't know how much I can speak on that, but it is more than one day. It is several hours. Oh, what's up, RJ? Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing good. They the days are super long. 14 plus hours a day. Um, like I said, so it's dozens and dozens of hours that are whittled down to 45 minutes. So you're definitely not seeing a lot of what is said and what is done. When it came to, again, I can't say much about that, so I'll leave it there. With the cardboard challenge, I didn't want to be seen slacking off for 30 seconds. So I made sure that I was working my ass off the entire time because I didn't want them using just the 30 seconds where maybe I was taking a break or whatever. Right. So it's just, that was very difficult because I didn't want to stop. So there was, what, 6 hours, I think, for the cardboard challenge. So it was just 6 hours of constant moving. My mommy and my, yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course I remember. Yeah, that's sweet. What is your favorite tattoo on you, and which artist did it? So I've got a few. I've got these two um, girls on my stomach from Sad Amish. I've got the RoboCop chick, and I've got the Ninja Turtle chick that the artist Sad Amish tattooer did. Fantastic artist. Go check him out. I've also got my back piece, what Landon Tattoos by Landon has been working on. We're not quite done yet. We've got a few more sessions to go, but it's this massive tattoo. It's so cool. It's chipping away at it. If you can't finish in time, do you catch up with the clients after to finish off what you started, or is there a clear cutoff? I mean, once that time's over, that's all you get. Um, I'm sure. Let's talk about previous seasons. I'm sure if a tattoo is unfinished, I'm sure that maybe the clients probably hit up the artist asking if they can work it out and finish it however they want to do it. But no, it's once those hours are over, that's it. There's no going back. If you were running the show, would you do things differently? It's hard to say, Jonas, because the producers do what they do really well. They've got 16 years of experience doing this, if not more. Um, so they know what works and they know what doesn't. I might say I would do something differently, but then when I put that into action, it might not work as well. So I can't say I would do things differently. I think what they do it really, really well. Same format elimination for the OGs, like the Young Guns in episode one. People on Reddit say it seems scripted, so you could stay longer. I get why they say that, but no, uh, this how do I say, the competition is written before any artists are chosen. It's in stone. So like anything that happens, it's just how it is. And there's so many twists and turns, and you never know what's coming up next. So they don't want to just do the same thing. Like they didn't want to eliminate one artist off the rip and then do another challenge with three artists like they did the Young Guns, because it would be too predictable. And on that note, even if they did do it like the Young Guns, then I would have still been safe because I would have been seventh out of eighth. So I still would have had an opportunity to do another tattoo, if that makes sense. So I get what they're saying, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Do you like doing conventions? Yeah, I think conventions are fantastic. I get to, see all the people that I love working around, and, meeting new people. I'm a massive people person. So I love tattoos. I love people. What do you I just got a good tattoo idea. RoboCop versus Terminator tattoo. Get a RoboCop tattoo from Pony and Terminator one from an artist who likes Terminator. Or run it. Hit up my email. Let's go. Uh, oh. Did I cut out? Yeah, I think so. We're back. For some reason, I can't see myself, but I guess I don't need to. Um, I like when realism tattoos are patchwork together with no filler. I think that's fine, because otherwise it would clutter up the tattoos, if that makes sense. Audio's back. Are we back? Are we good? I don't see myself, so I'm just going to assume we're good. Sorry, somebody tried calling me. A spam call. What artist did you vibe most with, and did you pick up new skills from the experience? Absolutely picked up a ton of skills, I think. Oh, just audio? Whatever. You guys can listen to me. I don't know why. The video's frozen. I apologize. But me and Jarrell, I think, really hit it off. Um, Me and Anthony hit it off quite well. Anthony's a really, really goofy dude. I love him. And Jarrell, I just, we kind of vibed from the very first day. I'm sorry. I wish I wasn't frozen, but I should probably head out of here soon anyway. Um, I will most likely do another Q&A after episode 4. Um, but feel free to leave comments on any of my videos or on Instagram. I'll try to do my best to get back to you guys. What would have been the toughest challenge style you've gotten? So, just from knowing my own experience, I mean, I'm not very well versed with Japanese. So, if a Japanese tattoo does come up, that might be one I struggle with. Do you generally agree with the judge's criticisms and decisions? Absolutely do. They are brutally honest, almost to a fault. It almost seems like they don't like telling you the shitty things, but you have to hear them. I have an inquisitive look on my face. Yeah, I'll take it. That's so funny. Yeah. Well, I apologize again, but I do got to get out of here anyway. I thought your American Universal tattoo was better. I followed the rules. I followed the rules. Do you think your tattoo is better? Tough session. This will be the last question I answer, and then I got to get out of here. Do I think my tattoo is more appealing than Jade's? I don't think so. Do I think it followed the rules better? 100%. But it all comes down to what tattoo would the judges like to wear, right? Um, but I do think my tattoos followed the rules a bit more. It just wasn't as clean. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for the past hour or whatever it's been. And like I said, I will be back next week. And keep a lookout. Ryan and I are working on filming some critiques of the Ink Master tattoos as each episode goes on. I'm going to have that out as soon as possible. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you guys next week.